LCX.com, the Liechtenstein Crypto Assets Exchange, is a regulated fintech company that focuses on digital asset trading, compliant token offerings, and tokenization. LCX is headquartered in Liechtenstein with offices in Switzerland, India, and USA. In 2020, LCX received 8 crypto-related approvals by the Financial Market Authority. LCX Exchange is a secure and regulated trading platform for cryptocurrencies. LCX Exchange makes it easy to buy, sell, and store cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, Ethereum, LCX token, and more. LCX DeFi protocol is a second-layer blockchain protocol enabling limit orders on Uniswap. LCX DeFi Terminal is a decentralized trading platform for Uniswap with super-fast markets data, beautiful charting, trading view integration, and DeFi indicators such as liquidity and volume. LCX Token Sale Manager is the most advanced and fully compliant platform for any token sale, regardless of whether it is a utility or security token. LCX STO Launchpad provides a compliant one-stop tokenization platform for security tokens to automate the fundraising and investor management on the blockchain. LCX Price Oracles are credible and decentralized cryptocurrency reference prices. LCX Terminal is a portfolio management platform across all major cryptocurrency exchanges. LCX Token is the fuel of our purpose-built platform. LCX Token works as a long-term sustainable incentive mechanism to motivate various stakeholders to participate in the ecosystem. This is LCX, LCX.com. It's all about having the key insights, following the leaders of the crypto industry and background stories on blockchain technology trends to keep you one step ahead. Monty Metzger, CEO of LCX.com, keeps you up to speed with what's moving global crypto markets and gives you the latest insights about LCX's platform and ecosystem. This is LCX Insights Live.
Excellent. Welcome to LCX Insights Live. I hope you now all see me and hear me clearly and loud. In this new live video show, I'm engaging with world's top blockchain projects, entrepreneurs, investors, and pioneers in crypto and blockchain in honest conversations meant to challenge traditional ways of thinking. So first, all of you who are new to this LCX Insights and LCX, I want to give you a short introduction about LCX. So LCX.com stands for the Liechtenstein Crypto Assets Exchange, and we are a regulated fintech company that focuses on digital asset trading, compliant token offerings, and tokenization. LCX is headquartered in Liechtenstein, of course, and with offices in Switzerland, India, and in US. In 2020, LCX received 8 crypto-related approvals by the Financial Market Authority in Liechtenstein, which we are very proud of. LCX Exchange is a secure and regulated trading platform for cryptocurrencies, online at exchange.lcx.com. So LCX Exchange makes it easy for you to buy, sell, and store cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, LCX token, and more. So the last few days, we had been announcing a few things, and it had been tremendous exciting. So first, a new partnership with Quant. Quant and LCX partners to advance central bank digital currencies, CBDC settlement and implementation. And LCX had been also joining as an official network gateway at the Overledger network. Second, we launched the Rolex trading competition. I think everybody's excited about that. It's your chance to win a Rolex Milgauss, and it's a trading competition at LCX Exchange. You can win the Rolex and 50,000 LCX token. There will be 6 winners in total. It starts today, and there we also launched a new nice dashboard where you can see where you stand. And third, we did announce the listing of the SAND token at LCX Exchange and launched 2 trading pairs, SAND LCX and SAND USDC. So why are we here? At LCX Insights Live, we're inviting leading personalities, key partners of LCX, and founders or senior management of blockchain projects listed at LCX Exchange. So today's guest is the co-founder and COO of The Sandbox. He is passionate about the blockchain technology, interactive entertainment, and education, and he's tirelessly speaking on the opportunities that NFTs, so-called non-fungible tokens, can really bring to the world of gaming. So right now he's building the metaverse of The Sandbox, and I'd love to get all your questions also about this. The Sandbox is one of the most anticipated and highly valued blockchain technology games. The Sandbox works through NFTs, allowing players to own, buy, sell, and trade their 3D creations on their own marketplace, and then use it in the game itself. He's also part of the board of directors at the Blockchain Game Alliance. So please welcome Mr. Sebastien Borget. Hello. Hi, Sebastian.
Hello, Monty. How are you?
Perfect. Very well.
All
I'm
right.
glad you joined. And
Yes,
I'm
of course.
happy to have you here. So this will be very interactive. We will have the chance to get in interactive questions from YouTube and from Facebook, and we can also be seen on Twitter. But everybody, please remember, you can comment in YouTube section and on Facebook, and then we get the questions right in here. Sebastian, first, I want to give you a chance to introduce you later, but first, can you introduce The Sandbox? Where do you stand? What are the key products? And how big is it actually?
Of course. Well, Sandbox, it's a gaming virtual world where users can make 3D assets and game experiences and own them, trade them, monetize them through the use of blockchain technology, NFTs, as well as SAND token, the utility token of the platform. We are one of the pioneers in the space of blockchain gaming. Actually speaking, the Sandbox franchise is now almost a decade old. We started in 2011 as a mobile game on 2G, on iOS and Android, where users could create their own pixel world just by the touch of the finger. We had a large success by then, up to 40 million installs, 1 million active users at peak, 70 million creation made. But we had no way to reward all those users for the content they created, and frankly speaking, allowing us to turn it into a success. So toward the end of 2017, when we saw the first NFT project, CryptoKitties, CryptoPunks appear, we immediately thought about, let's combine that amazing technology, NFTs, with user-generated content, allowing anyone to make their own NFTs. And that's what the Sandbox is today, 3 years later. It's an NFT maker where you can make your own NFTs using your 3D models. You can upload them to our marketplace where you can start trading them and selling them. You can use them with our game maker. So all the NFTs you make have a true utility. You can play with your content. You can wear the NFTs on your avatar to create your own stories, adventure, games, and share them into our virtual world where the land as well are NFTs. So essentially speaking, a whole platform of Sandbox use NFTs, give ownership of the content, lands, game asset to the users, as well as the currency sand, which will be 100% in the end of the users in the next 5 years. Some of the KPIs, some of the metrics about our platform and its success. We have more than 200,000 active users with a registered wallet on our dashboard. We have recently passed over the $10 million worth of land sale with last week a new record where we sold for $5.9 million in 1 day of virtual land NFTs. We have one of the largest community, most engaged of artists, creators, players on our Twitter, more than 100,000 followers on Twitter, Discord, 35,000, Telegram, 25,000 as well. So it's really exciting to see all the engagement of the community, which is contributing to building that virtual world together with us.
Exciting. So I think a lot of people have some things in mind on how it looks, and I just wanted to show you a short trailer. So it's a 1 minute short trailer about the sandbox so everybody sees how it actually looks like. Let's have a look. Coming soon, I think. So the sandbox coming soon. I think that was your teaser video like a year ago. But
that
now
was
you launched also the
exactly.
NFT Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us more about the NFT Marketplace? What is that about?
Absolutely. That was the 2018 trailer. So now 2021, a lot of exciting, better graphics, multiplayer is there. The marketplace has launched. The marketplace, essentially, we launched a first beta of it, allowing a certain number of whitelisted artists that we've been working for close to a year with us to mint a selection of voxel assets and sell them. We launched on March 30th with about 46 artists who sold 100 unique NFTs, which were either entities, equipment, wearable, or art. And now it started like large success. We had over 2,500 transactions at the beginning within the first 24 hours. I think now we have more than $500,000 cents of transaction volume. And it keeps going on twice a week, every Wednesday and every Saturday. We introduce a new artist from our community and the new assets they are selling. Those assets have, again, the utility directly with our game maker or for your avatar in our virtual world.
Okay, excellent. So what was the most successful NFT category you have created?
It's interesting. We have like arts. Art is more scarce usually. Those are like aesthetically pleasing assets that took hours of work for the artist to make, to animate. So there's very few copies of them. They are most highly priced. Some of them between 2,000 to 10,000 for the most one unique copies of those, which represent 50% of the revenue, and the other 50% are like game assets, more like characters, enemies, etc. So it's hard. It's basically same on par.
Okay, exciting. So art assets seem to be a topic, but I often hear the discussion like if you are an investor in Bitcoin, you not naturally are an investor in art, like digital art or NFTs directly. And there's a split now in kind of culture. Where do you see the biggest growth? Is it really an Asian culture thing, or is it globally, or especially in Europe? Like what are the kind of jurisdictions there?
I think we can first look at like the different kind of NFTs, because NFT at the end of the day, it can be any sort of digital assets, but mostly since the beginning of the year, we've seen a growth in sport collectible with projects like NBA Top Shots or Rare, etc. Or we've seen crypto art with obviously the Beeple piece that sold for $69 million. And gaming NFTs, they didn't yet took off, while I think that's the area where there's the most potential, because those NFTs, again, they have utilities, they are playable inside virtual world and metaverses. They enable the play to earn mechanics behind, where any player could actually spend time to progress, to finish levels, to finish games, and collect resources, collect tokens such as NFTs or SAN, and turn those, either keep them in his wallet or sell them to monetize them and turn it into a revenue stream. Mm-hmm. Geographically speaking, we have, for Sandbox, it's quite split out. Like US has been our #1 territory. We have then Asia as a whole, with Korea leading the charge, followed by Japan and China. Typically, the lands there are mostly, lands and game NFTs are mostly owned by Asian users. They understood it usually faster than rest of the world. But we also have a strong presence in Europe with a very big community in Italy, for example, and soon, I hope, more in the northern part of Europe, thanks to a partnership and listing on LCX.
Yes, so the listing at LCX was very much welcomed by our community. And like I said at the beginning, we gained these licenses in December, and we are a fresh new exchange, fully regulated, compliant. So we don't have like a backlog of trades where users were not in a KYC system or something. So it's basically a greenfield, fresh start, but it took us almost 2 years to build the basis. So that's why we're very excited, growing day by day. And we are super excited to have Sand there as well. Can you tell us the story of your token? When was the idea born? How did you start it? Like, was there an ICO event, or like, did you issue the token? How was that done?
The Sand has always been part of like the overall vision of the Sandbox metaverse. It's here to empower the users, to enable them at first as a medium of exchange, enabling them to buy land, to buy asset, to pay to play in game, or to earn revenue from the games for game creator. It's also a governance token. So by owning Sand, you will be participating in decision via a DAO, such as the roadmap, next features, key parameters of the virtual world, and also a staking token to earn a revenue from staking the token on your land or other locations. Sand, however, was only introduced quite late in the history of the project. We launched it in August 2020, so almost 2.5 years after we started working on this new version, after we launched several products like the voxel editor called VoxEdit, or NFT Maker, or even the marketplace where we had several land sales, because we wanted to introduce Sand only once we have shown that we had a community, engaged community, that we had a product that was available for the community to use, and that the community was here for the right reason. Like, they embraced the idea of what we wanted to build, not just for necessarily being here without understanding what's the product underneath the token and underlying the ID. We then launched via an IEO on Binance Launchpad the Sand token in August 2020. it was one of the most awaited IEO by then, because Binance didn't launch any new token for almost 6 months by then. And for now, a little bit more than 6 months later, Sand is available on more than 20 global exchange in Korea, in China, in US, and in Europe as well with LCX. And it's really exciting to know that we are one of the leading NFT gaming token. I think we rank somewhere between top 200 and top 100 on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. And we are accessible by players and creators almost anywhere they are in the world, so they can onboard easily our platform, participate in play to earn, create their asset, earn from it, own a land, owning a piece of the metaverse as well.
Okay, and now, like, if you look back from that Binance Launchpad to now, had there been any challenges you had to overcome, or like if you would launch another token like Sand 2, are there things which you would do different?
I think, well, we've been here for 3 years now, so we can see that we've been here through the difficult time to now, where there's more excitement, more understanding into NFT space. Basically, 2 years ago, we were raising funds with investors, and it was long and not so many were understanding yet the utility of NFTs, the benefit for it for users, the use case they had into gaming. They were mostly focused into other areas related to cryptocurrencies like DeFi or other protocols more, rather than at the dApp level. So maybe we were a little bit too early by then, but still we've been building. That's been one of our priority. And I think we introduced the token at the right time, basically, because we took the time to build the platform, to show the product, to let users use it. And we built a community that's been with us through the years now, which is really engaged into what we are doing and supporting it and contributing to building, sharing the vision and building the product with us now. So I think overall, you cannot make, even if now it's potentially faster to launch new tokens, there's a lot of tokens, so you have to be more careful and do your own research before deciding to follow or not a project. There's one thing you cannot fake, basically, or you cannot replace. It's time to build a community, to build a trust relationship with it, and to demonstrate that you're part of those very serious projects who are committed to deliver on their roadmap.
Okay, I think that the commitment is something which is important, because the crypto industry is moving so fast, but you're here also for the long run. And I think there are now a couple of questions coming in. So, for example, here, this one from Chris saying, Korea has been one of the highest blockchain adoption rate in the world. Would you agree?
I absolutely agree. Like my first trip in Korea a year and a half ago, I was amazed to see like already in that country, everything is connected to blockchain. There's a strong ecosystem from the exchanges, the media that's never seen in one country so many medias dedicated to the topic, the user base already adopting it, the industry actors that adopted the technology first and launched their own chains, their own partnership, etc. So, and the fact that it's natively already a gaming country, one of the first in esport, MMORPGs typically, that helps to facilitate understanding what we have been building, what we're looking to do, and people. One of the very first contributors of our community are indeed located there, and we've made big partnership with major IPs, with major schools as well. So we have like a partnership with SBS Game Academy, which is a school about game programming, which they are already teaching how to make games using Sandbox, how to make NFTs as well. So it's really easy how they are accepting the new technology and the shift here. Whereas I wouldn't say the same everywhere in the world, and I still have sometimes hard time to make people understand why we're doing this and why it's actually benefiting the users. It's true, like when you've been growing 25 years in the video game industry, where everything you buy, it's actually not yours. The currency, the virtual currency in the in-app purchase in free-to-play games, for example, you buy with real money, but they are not yours, because if you leave that game, you don't take the content away with you. You cannot transfer it to someone else. Some people, they've just grown accustomed to it, so they don't even think again, but is it normal that I don't own something I paid for, right? And well, sometimes it's hard to change mind, and I've seen more friction into some countries than some others.
That's right. I remember going to South Korea and Seoul early 2000, and it always felt to be like a trip in the future. During the time, they already had been having the Cy World, so the cyber, which was like a metaverse, early 2000. I think this was 2005 or so. So very, very early, diving into virtual worlds. And they already had super, super fast mobile internet. And that was really a driver of digital adoption there. The downside of the ecosystem there is there are a lot of innovations which actually never made it outside. And the rules are different. There's Naver is still the largest search engine there. Like Google never made it in the market, really. Then there are like different chatbots like Kakao Talk, and who are like massive in Korea. And so the rules are different. But I think for gaming and NFTs, there are a lot of things where you can learn and adapt these things. Now, like looking at the current hype or like discussions, Sotheby's as a traditional auction house going into NFTs, what do you think about this craze? Is that sustainable or is it a hype?
I think it's difficult to say. Like definitely NFTs have been reaching to the masses. It's been overexposed in the media through various ways, through the high number of sales, through the number of artists who promote to their community and launching their own content, through all sorts of ways, essentially. And it's definitely when that moment happened, a lot of people start looking in it, but they don't yet have learned all the specific of like what makes an NFT really valuable over time, what value it brings versus not. And it's true that we've seen people abusing in a way of the utility of the NFT, or abusing or launching new NFTs that, frankly speaking, they have no real reason for existing. Like, why are they made for the right reason? So I think NFT is here to stay, definitely. There will be more demand of NFTs over time, because we're still talking, roughly speaking, 100 million users who discovered NFT recently and potentially were interested to buy some, versus a global market of 2.5 billion users connected to internet or playing games, which can potentially look into NFTs. So the demand is still largely bigger than the supply. However, NFT, I think, is a medium. It's its own medium. It carries its own distribution. And just like you use a new platform, like back then, Facebook, TikTok, etc., you need a strategy that you need to think about long term on how you're going to engage with this medium. It's not just about creating it once and being gone. It's about creating something and having a strategy on like, how do I constantly provide new content, update the conversation, provide something of value to the audience so that they keep following it on a long time. You launched the LCX Insights. You didn't launch it with let's do it once and stop. You continuously have a live ops, interview people, bring and adapt, basically. And that's what makes it grow over time. Similar with NFT and communities, basically.
Okay. And I think the adoption rate, that's a key topic. I mean, with blockchain in general and crypto, we see that there's now a big jump in terms of wallets out there, but still it's the early days. I mean, we are probably around 100 million active users or so. So once we reach 1 billion, then I think there's mass adoption really happening, and we're still not there yet. And there's one question here from Dream World. What kind of hardware would it take to learn Sandbox? Is it something user friendly? and or do you need lots of years of school to learn it and how to use it? And I think that's the question of adoption, really.
That's a very great question, actually, and I have a lot of good user stories to tell about that. So first of all, the game maker that's provided with Sandbox, it's a no-code game maker. So you don't need to learn any programming language in order to build games. You just drag and drop your NFTs into a scene. They come with behaviors, whether they are an enemy, an NPC, a platform, other things, and it will already, just in front of your eyes, start to behave, move, and have gameplay logic. So just that is very intuitive. Then we do have in our community a lot of something I really love is like how passionate our community of creators is. So they are streaming twice a week. I think in total we have 100 streams with all different community members per month. They are streaming live how they're creating games. They are writing tutorials and how-tos. They are sharing the knowledge essentially on how they are making games. And I have already a lot of successful stories where users have been following those streams for a month or so, and they've started to really get the grasp of the tool. They participated into our game jams being competition where you submit a game creation you made. These are traditional in the video game industry, and we continue that. And they won a prize. They were about the top 10. They started from never having done a video game before. And now they continue, they make their own stream to teach to others, and potentially they will rank higher. Actually, we are now at our 4th game jam, which is live. And I know like the participant who started on the first one got 10th at the second one and got 3rd place at the 3rd one. So the quality has improved over time as well. That's, I think, something very powerful that you don't find in a lot of projects, like that feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of sharing with the community, seeing that it's not a competition, really. It's really like the more people know how to make games, how to use NFT on our platform, how to participate in content creation, the more it benefits everyone overall.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's just take the next question right away from Rick. How do you see the monetization of the Sandbox?
Well, we see the monetization potential broadly speaking. So we're contributing to a new model called play to earn, as I was alluding before, which essentially enables creators and players, not just players alone, to turn their time into a revenue stream. As a creator, I can indeed make NFTs, monetize them by selling them on the marketplace to game creators. As a game creator, I can publish my game on the land and put in place mechanics such as something we call internally the gating, where players to enter a certain land or a certain portion of land will require an NFT to access the game. That NFT could be comparable to a ticket, but doesn't need to look like a ticket. Can actually be a game character, could be a t-shirt, a wearable, is a way to access that specific portion for the game creator to earn revenue by selling the content. And the user can still get a lot of utility through it, even after they access the content. That's just one of the examples. There's many other models that we are enabling as well as part of our play-to-earn loops.
Okay, so I think the opportunities there are a given. So you've built the basic platform now. What's on the roadmap in terms of like next innovations? Where do you see the next growth wave happening at the Sandbox?
I think the next growth wave at Sandbox starts to happen. It's really as into the ecosystem of actors that are building on Sandbox, that are contributing to Sandbox. Sandbox by itself, it's a platform. It's a game creation platform with this virtual world map that constitutes its metaverse. Who are building? Those are, so far, you think, small team individuals. What's happening right now, we're moving to the next phase where we're seeing marketing agencies shaping up, building their own experiences and game, from ideation to actually having architect, 3D artist, bringing the IP, the license, the brand, and all by themselves running those in two lands. We're seeing game studios starting from scratch, people who've been 10 years, 15 years in the video game industry, quitting their job and saying, I'm going to start making a game studio to publish in Sandbox, just like some people before did for Roblox, for Minecraft, for the App Store back in the 2010s, and so on. We are seeing DAOs. I'm really excited by the concept of DAOs. They are organizing themselves, acquiring land. Some of them have investors as well, and they are sourcing their own creators, their own talent. So those are publishing DAOs that operate autonomously and in decentralized manner, that are going to provide high quality content and work more as a team rather than individual or studios which are still centralized companies. Having a platform and an ecosystem with so many actors that contribute to building the content, I think that's really the next phase that excites me the most for Sandbox.
Okay, so it's really about this creator economy, but it seems it goes beyond the natural user or like any internet user, but also corporates engaging a lot. That's fascinating. So what's the biggest piece of land owned by one single person or entity at the moment?
I was looking at that, and I think first of all, I want to mention that among all the decentralized virtual world, I do think Sandbox has the largest number of unique landowners. So we have more than 6,100 something unique landowner for about 45% of the map we sold, since the Sandbox map has 166, 464 lands in total. So that's a good ratio. Like, it's really decentralized. Like, the lands are not just concentrated into a very few that actually control that world and its economy. That's a very positive thing, and our community is proud of it. The second thing is, indeed, we have larger landowner, which, for example, Binance owned about 4,012 lands in total. I think we've seen Whale Shark, which is one of the largest, most known crypto collector, crypto whale as well. You can see his face on the map. We have, let me see, we have Metacovan, who also own a large amount. And then there's a few other, as I mentioned, some of those DAOs that have indeed started to acquire a larger portion. But again, those are very few. And I'm happy that the concentration overall, it's really spread out, and the Sandbox has the largest decentralized ownership base.
Okay, and I think there's this evolution also where, like, you have your early partners engaging, then more and more users go in, and then it really goes into a massive market. I think the blockchain gaming area is really fascinating to see, because people are not only buying because of speculation or wanted to get like that the price goes up of the token, but also they're passionate about the topic, about the game. They want to use it, they want to play with it. There's an actual very clear use case, and I think that's so important as of now to really see where blockchain can take us. It's not only for speculating assets, not only going in digital gold like Bitcoin, but it's actually about this creator economy, digital collectibles, and then the kind of future of non-fungible tokens. Sebastian, I mean, you had been engaging with Binance a lot. Your token is listed on other exchanges. What's your opinion on the take of Binance, of Coinbase position in the market? I mean, Coinbase had been investing a lot in regulation and had a kind of very big compliance team. They now went to a direct listing on NASDAQ. For me, it's kind of a new shift in markets. What do you think about this kind of compliant players in the market compared to kind of the pioneers? And do you see if there's a shift in the market happening?
I think I'm aligned with the idea that we need to operate in full compliance with the legislation of the different countries of the users. And the market is maturating, basically, Bitcoin being everywhere. Now, all governments have put in place already crypto regulation, crypto taxes, ways and frameworks around like what is a security versus what is a utility. That's very well defined in most parts of the world. And I do think it's usually for the benefit or for the protection of the users, for the protection of the different actors in the economy, to clarify and have a framework around it. We've gone through a certain number of legal opinion for Sand and the different utility token of the platform, like Land as well, for the very same reasons, actually, to make sure that we were compliant, we were able to list into so many countries, and we were doing the things by the book as far as the book is still being written right now. Of course, the technology is in advance always of the compliancy and the regulation, but it's us that are setting those trends. So if being in advance, we set the good move, basically, then we can hope the regulation will not go against what we're doing, but will, on the contrary, support. If we're doing things that are actually hurting a lot of users, then the regulation are normally here to protect those, right? So I think it's just like in which direction we want to set the industry to move forward as, generally speaking, a community that will drive the regulation to go in that direction as well.
Yes, absolutely right. And I have to tell you, we were very impressed about your legal structure and setup. I think we never received so many legal opinion from different jurisdictions as from any other project. And as you know, LCX is a regulated exchange. So for every asset we list, we actually have to ask for these so-called legal opinions, and also have to get an opinion out of the new blockchain perspective in Liechtenstein, so the Blockchain Act in Liechtenstein. And you also provided this perspective. And like for me, the point I wanted to make is really that I do see a shift in the markets at the moment. So of course, there are the pioneers who kind of made crypto big at the beginning, but they also have started out like with a very small team, like no regulatory setup at all. And some try to stay within kind of a gray zone as well, while others like LCX is really investing heavily. And Coinbase is one of them, Kraken is one of them, see like who got the banking license now. And I mean, that's really something where I see the kind of bridge between the traditional financial markets and this innovation which is happening in blockchain technology. And what I think you're doing in a pretty good way is bridging that both worlds, because of course we can't answer the current questions and problems with old solutions. We have to come up with new ways. So that's why kind of getting kind of a digital collectible ecosystem and build it up, getting a token which can be used within the game as a payment instrument which can be traded in other exchanges, that's all new. It did not exist before. And I think that's where we are entering kind of this blue ocean, defining our own rules. But I'm a big believer that for the long term, we can only last if we also play a little bit with the traditional ones and try to get them up to speed. And talking about kind of traditional markets, did ever like people from Minecraft or others call you up and say, hey, we want to have something like that as well? Like a Minecraft token?
We've seen experiments. I know several projects, they launch NFTs directly in Minecraft as well. It's interesting. I mean, everyone is contributing and trying to find a way to bridge the traditional gaming and this new blue ocean of NFT-based virtual world games, etc. To some extent, everyone has success. That's the good news. That's why also the market has been growing. We chose to build it from the ground up with a new project that was really incorporating the economy, the notion of scarcity, the notion of ownership from the very beginning at the deep core level. So we think we could get it right. And so far it makes sense. We've built a circular economy on our platform that connects players, creators, artists, landowner, sand owner as well. And I think that's also what makes us original. We're not just trying to tweak a 10 years old product to artificially or try to add something that was maybe not meant to be on that one. And that's I think it's good that we have the two options for player. I want to just enjoy, have fun in a game that has over 100 million users. Sure, go ahead, you can do it. Oh, I want to play, but I want also considering it earn some money while I play. Yeah, you can do it as well. Now you've got the choice, basically.
How much time do you split between working with the community, also walking around the token itself, Sand, and the game? Like you personally as the COO of the company, how are you splitting your time?
Well, I'm very involved, I think, in the community. I think everyone can reach me directly still, and like I try to reply in the same day. It's getting harder, but usually it's still possible. Like anyone can ask me. I do try to solve their problem. I do try to understand what they want to achieve, what they want to bring and contribute to the community. So that dialogue with the community is very important. I feel like we couldn't be a successful user-generated content platform without speaking to our users. And that's surprisingly something that for me sounds very natural to do that every day. Is not the case with most of the top grossing titles, where those games made billions of dollars on the back of players, thanks to a few percentage of players that spend, and they don't even spend the time to talk with those players that contributed to the revenue stream. So I like to not be that guy. Basically, I want to be the person that they feel like, yes, it's great to be in that community. They are hearing us. They are not necessarily solving all the issue instantly, but at least they listen and they put in place a process that over time show that they care.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I also see the shift in how people invest or how venture capital people invest. As you might know, I've been running my own venture capital fund prior to starting LCX. For 5 years, I've been investing in tech companies and then decided to go back in the entrepreneur seat. And with that experience, I saw that we had been investing, or like VCs in the past had been investing in founders. So there might be a good founder team who have like this idea of the game and then they come out. So that was like how Minecraft was probably born. But now VCs are investing in communities as well. And communities are investing in themselves. And that's a big, big shift. So your investors, your token buyers, token holders are the game players, are the ones who you talk to, and there are no barriers to communication entry. You know, we have these live AMAs, we have Telegram and everything. And there I see also kind of a shift in how communication works and how you engage with your users. This is dramatic differently, and not only in gaming, it's in every financial product, in every other blockchain company where this is happening. So this is tremendous. But getting back to like the Sand token and LCX and getting listed there, why is it important for you to be listed at LCX Exchange?
Well, frankly speaking, there's very few exchanges in Europe and very few that are regulated. So I think back to the idea that we want to be as accessible as possible around all the countries of the world, closest to our users. I'm French, I'm European, I see myself. So it's important that other gamers all across Europe can easily acquire Sand as well. And I'm happy that LCX is actually one of the very first in Europe to list Sand tokens.
Yeah, so we are excited about that as well. And, you know, Europe is a key market for us. We have a very, very strong German community as well. While the exchange is all in English still. So we also, they're still at the beginning of the development, but we strive a very strong French community, Italian, Spanish, and then 120 other countries. So we're, while being in Europe and leveraging the legal framework there, we also see there's a demand for this security coming from other jurisdictions as well. And now we're building up this portfolio of very interesting tokens. And for every project we list, we really want to do a due diligence. We go deep in analysis, and then when we present something, we are sure that this is something where like we would invest, or like I would personally invest my money as well. So yeah, I think that's it. Do you have any questions to me?
Well, I think it's friends, it's great to hear that we've been going through those kind of diligence, and you would invest in Sand and the Sandbox as well to participate into the metaverse. I'm excited to hear like what the growth has been for you this year as well. You said it's just a few months you open, and this excitement. We are one of the first NFT gaming token on LCX, but are there other areas where LCX has been also growing fast?
Yes. So for us, since January, it had been tremendous growth. So the team had been more than doubling. We had been sometimes even more than 30 positions open at the same time. So like, you know, as a founder, overcoming this growth, going from 10 people to 20 people to 50 people, there's like all these steps where like organization structures have to grow. Then the platform itself had been growing, like thousands of new registrations coming in every day. And you know, we gained these registrations by the Financial Market Authority in Liechtenstein on 30 December. So almost last day of last year. And then in January, we started to roll out the products which we prepared for so long. We launched the exchange, and now we launched the 100 Days LCX campaign, which is a challenge and fun to do because we do an announcement, at least one announcement every day. So one was an announcement of the listing of Sand, then we did these partnerships now, and every additional asset like Sand drives additional traffic to the exchange. So we grew from basically zero trading volume at the beginning to now 100,000 very often, 100,000 daily trading volume. And our goal is to reach 1 million and then 10 million within the next couple of months. And we're engaging with market makers and so on. So doing, I think, everything we can, not only increasing communication, but also a lot of things on the product side. So far 2021 had been awesome. And another fun thing, which you probably don't know, like in November last year, we launched a fun TikTok meme campaign called Bullish Speed, which some people loved, some people hated, but at least like it triggered some attention. But since November, the bullish speed never stopped. And it's still like that, like all crypto assets going nuts. And more and more media, especially in the US, are talking about Bitcoin every day. While I do know it's like their 2021 will be very, very exciting of the things which are still coming up. Whether it's like larger corporates joining, or DM Foundation, or like your next big things, or what LCX has in the pipeline. Very, very exciting to see. And now I just saw this comment here from Matthew. Can't wait to see LCX on the map and Sandbox. I think we have to talk about that, Sebastian.
Sure, yes. Every brand, every major company, they will have presence, I think, at some point in the Sandbox metaverse.
Yeah.
And now, in 1 year, in 10 years, I think just it's part of the strategy of being present where users will be in the future. Like, no, people will not just see web pages. They will want to engage with the community of brands, of IPs, of companies, into virtual world, chat and do more with them there. So yep, makes sense. And I can't wait to be among the first there, actually.
Yes, no, we're happy to support and join and do everything we can to be part of your community as well. And so I think that's a follow-up point we have to do anyway.
We'll have.
And
yes.
Yeah, so let me just go through here. Are there any other questions? So from the community, now to your last chance. We will pick up your questions. Also, one comment or warning. I got notified that on Facebook there are some fake accounts of LCX. Don't trust them. Unfortunately, on Facebook we are not verified like on Twitter. So people get confused with that. We are not asking for money. You don't send us anything there. Like most of the comments there, you have to be very careful. So I see that here coming in as a warning as well. Yeah, so I think that's I think a great AMA here. Also Benjamin said great AMA guys and joining this. So I think let's wrap this up and close it. For the end, I just wanted to get a quick impression about your like key three growth drivers of the industry, not only about for Sand, but for the industry as a whole. Like, what do you expect will be happening, or like, what are the three biggest drivers of growth for the next 6 to 12 months?
All right, good question. I think essentially demonstrating that there is more utilities for the NFTs than there's currently is. Demonstrating that essentially there is more and more demand naturally for some of these new tokens that launched over the last 2 years versus the main Bitcoin and Ethereum, which still drive a lot of the market, and maybe that shouldn't be so. The launch of Ethereum 2.0, I think it's probably the third point that I think can have like a major impact as well.
Okay, good points. And of course, unfortunately, we can't do it personally in Liechtenstein, but at least like there's an invitation for you waiting. So next time you are coming in the region of Austria, Switzerland, there's this little country called Liechtenstein, and it's a fascinating place to be. It's probably the most exciting jurisdiction in terms of blockchain laws at the moment. And I'm happy to continue the discussion here on what we can do together to grow the industry as a whole and help our users to have more fun and maybe gain some profits with the tokens. Who knows? But
absolutely, they will create their avatar, engage in LCX land, think about NFTs we want to create with the community. A lot of things could be done. So yeah.
Excellent, Sebastian. Greetings to you. Thanks for taking the time this evening. It was an exciting first here LCX Insights live session. I enjoyed it very much, and onwards and upwards.
Absolutely. Thanks, Monty. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for you for listening. Bye-bye. See you in the metaverse.
This is LCX Insights Live. For more insights, please visit lcx.com/insights and follow us on Twitter @LCX. Onwards and upwards.